Hear me all right, right?
I can't hear you. Where'd you go? All right. Are we recording? We're recording, right? Hello? This is awesome.
Back on the computer then, right?
There you are. I got you.
Turn it on again. I don't know why.
Okay.
Okay, now
maybe it takes a second. Okay.
Now you're there again.
Right. Are you turning off the recording and restarting? Or
no? It's still recording. So you start. Say welcome to whatever you want to call.
Okay. All right, everybody. This is Jen and Crystal coming to you from our podcast, Notsupermodels. And as you can see, Jen is in the Nostromo, circling L2426.
Or maybe Jupiter, maybe.
Or Jupiter. And I am in the futuristic, well, I don't know, I guess. I feel like this would be in Star Wars in the movie Andor, or in the TV series Andor, and this is the planet where the rich people live. I can't remember the name of the planet though. Yeah.
There's a rich people planet in Star Wars?
Yeah, in the television series on Disney called Andor.
Oh, okay.
There's this kind of scene. It's where the rich people are. Yeah, it's where, wheeling and dealing occurs. Real, secret shit. Yeah.
Well, that's sparking some interest in thoughts in my head, but not interest. I've had a hellacious day. Let me just tell you.
Yeah, you have.
Sparked some thoughts about what we could talk about today, and maybe we can start off by talking to people about what you watch on TV versus what I watch on TV.
Oh, sure. Hold on. Time out. You're cutting in and out, buddy. You're cutting in and out. Okay, there you go. Okay.
All right. I think it's the shitty laptop I'm on.
Jen is on location in the lovely Palm Springs in August, and has
on the planet Andor.
Yeah, on the yeah, no, she's on location, so she's on a different technology right now. It's an old laptop, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah.
So what I was saying is, I think maybe some people might find some shows that they don't watch that maybe we suggest that they might check out, or not, or we could talk about something else. Who knows?
Absolutely. Well, let's start with you, Jen. What are your shows?
I usually watch a lot of crime shows with Vera. She's big into the crime, and in fact, we have. I don't know if do you watch Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, I watch Saturday Night Live.
Okay. Do you remember when they did the skit about Mayor of Easttown or whatever it was?
Oh. That was hilarious because of the accent and all the whole thing. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay.
So they
cutting out again. God damn it. Do you need the headphones? Should we turn the headphones?
Yeah. Let me just turn.
We're going to do it without headphones. See what happens.
All right. Murder-dirter. They kept using the term murder-dirter. So that's what Vera and I, do you want to watch some murder-dirter?
Oh, I love that it's part of your lexicon. Yeah. Or nomenclature or whatever words. Yeah. Is mean.
Here, let me get my
the
screen there. Yeah, so it's like, do you want to watch some murder-dirter? So she's big into the Brit.
Oh, like Downton Abbey and shit?
Yeah, British shit. And so I end up watching that a lot with her. I'm huge into documentaries and things like that. And, but we do watch some crime documentaries together. So, I watched The Pit on HBO Max. That was a new show that came out. Did you see that?
Yeah, I really liked it. Yeah.
It was good. And there's stuff that I watch without Vera because she won't tolerate it.
Oh, wow. Like, what does your wife not tolerate?
Yeah, well, it's anything that's really super intense, and I'll tell a quick story about that.
Okay.
When we first started seeing each other, you want to go to the movies with your person and do that sort of thing. And so I picked the movie Babel. Have you seen it?
No.
Super intense. It's a great, I think it's Pedro Almodovar or something. I think
is that a Brad Pitt's in that? And was there some nominations?
There's not Tilda Swinton, but the other chick that looks like her sort of, but she's Aussie. Anyway, it's like 3 or 4 different stories told all at this, in one, and they kind of intertwine, and it was super intense and really good movie. But she did not like that movie.
Wow.
She was like, why did you bring me to this movie? And I'm like, because it was supposed to be a good movie.
Okay.
Anyway, so I learned really quick what kind of movies she will and won't watch.
Shit.
So she likes to keep it light, funny, but she'll watch, like we just watched a really disturbing murder documentary. It wasn't Son of Sam. It was somebody, one of those killers, and we just watched it, and it was just like, holy shit. And then we watched another one that was even worse, and we're both like, are the doors locked?
Absolutely. Okay.
She likes sci-fi. I like sci-fi up until a point. I'm not I'm not into the Star Wars. I'm not into all that. But we did watch Star Trek with the new guy, new old guy.
Star Trek, the new movies, the newer movies, or you got series?
The TV shows.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so you can hear me all right, right?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's the speaker on this thing is kind of blown, so that's okay. So yeah, I tend to watch a lot of medical stuff. Like I like medical documentaries, where they show people having surgery and stuff. And all the stuff that she won't watch, I watch. But like nothing's coming to me at the moment. What did we watch recently that was really good? Hostage on Netflix.
Is that a movie or a show?
It was a show. It was a show on Netflix. So that was pretty good. It was only like 6 episodes or something. I think it was might be a British show. But anything British, anything murder. We watched Ted Lasso. That was good.
I enjoyed that
season to come out. So nothing's coming to me. So why don't you say what you watch on TV?
Well, I watch it's a mishmash. It's a mishmash because I do like the crime shows, murder shows. But then I'll also like throw down for some like Bob's Burgers or Abbott Elementary. Love it, old school show that you would sit with your family and watch on a Thursday night. Let's see what else. I do watch since COVID. I didn't used to have any of the streaming. I had Netflix and that was it, but now I've got like all of them. And so definitely watching like Disney Channel shit, like the Star Wars series Andor and the Star Wars series Osaka and the all the Star Wars series, Skeleton Crew. But I also like to watch some documentaries. I love football documentaries or a sports documentary. That's new. That's come with age. I didn't used to, I wasn't attracted to that, but now, man, I watch all of those. I think they're fascinating.
Sports documentaries.
Yeah, like like a season of the Chicago Bears, their 1985 season. Or I'm not a basketball fan, but I'll watch basketball documentaries, college and NBA. College football, I'm not a fan of, but I will watch a college football documentary. I just find for whatever reason, I find them interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, speaking of sports documentaries, I'll walk into the room every once in a while if I have been gone a while. I'll walk in and Vera, not the other day, but a while ago, I walked in and she's watching the David Beckham.
Oh, sure.
Documentary.
Yeah. Were you surprised?
I'm like, what are you watching? She's like, oh, it's a documentary about David Beckham. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they suck you in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I want to tell you this. These are my fancy, fancy headphones. Way more expensive than these. These are working like a champ.
Yeah.
Not so much.
Well, you're a little muffled right now, though.
Oh, am I? Okay.
Wait,
That
yeah.
could be because I've got the microphone.
Is the micro? Oh, okay. One of these days, we're going to get it together. We're going to get it together. No more technical difficulties.
I'm back on the speaker again.
Yeah, that sounds better. Yeah. There you go.
You know why? Because I'm not on the headphones anymore. Okay, I give up.
Yeah, sometimes it's just.
I was hearing you so well on the headphones, and I thought, well, I'll just use that. But yeah.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Sorry, buddy.
That's okay.
Now, let's talk about your mom. Did your mom go and how's her knee surgery? Did she make it through? She's
She
good?
hasn't had it yet. She has it. I have to get up tomorrow and get her to the hospital by 5:15 in the morning.
Got it. Okay, early morning surgery.
Yeah, it's supposed to be day surgery, but I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it is, but I've had knee replacement and it wasn't day surgery, but that was several years ago. So, but I've been racing around like a fiend today, just trying to get all her medical equipment in place and everything in place. So when she comes home and she's pissed at me because I had her get knee replacement and she's in pain, she'll have everything she needs, So.
Smart preparing. It's self-preservation. That's what I'm hearing, Jen.
Yeah, exactly.
Self-preservation happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now with your mom, what's up with her knee? Is it bone on bone?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Shit.
Yeah.
Whoa. So are they putting like fake like Gore-Tex cartilage in between the bone on bone to
it's like this little disc. I watched the surgery a couple of weeks ago just to see. I wanted to know what it was like.
Yeah, good.
It's like an hour and a half now, and they do a scan of the joint, and then they just go in there based on the scan and just go to town, and then shave, down all the bones, pull the joint apart, put the new joint in there, and seal it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It is.
That's nuts. Okay, good for her. All right, I'm glad she's doing it because bone on bone sounds really painful.
Yeah. It's going to be painful afterwards. That's going to be the worst part. So she's going to be hating me, I'm sure. So.
Oh, God.
I told her today, I said, you can't hate me, Mom. You cannot hate me. When you get through this and you wake up, you cannot hate me.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
I wouldn't hate you. I'm like, yeah, you would.
Yeah. Man. So what's the recovery time for her?
It's like long. It's at least 6 to 8 weeks before she's going to be feeling somewhat normal.
So that means no walking on it for that long?
Oh no, that's the hard part. They get you up. They wake you up from surgery. They get you up and have you start walking.
No shit.
Yep.
Wow. They want all the shit moving and all the things and the fluids and the stuff.
They want nothing. Nothing.
No sedentary lifestyle.
Yeah.
You're up and at 'em.
Yeah.
Wow. And that doesn't do damage. That's shocking. That's amazing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I remember a few years ago, it was, let's see, end of 2008, I had a bladder reconstruction surgery because my bladder was spastic, and it had too much high pressure, and it was gonna blow out my kidneys when I was 50. So they made my bladder bigger. And you know what? You're right. They had me up after surgery.
Yeah, they don't.
After surgery, I was like, "Are you shitting me? Like, you just cut up my guts, and you want my ass up and moving around?" And they were like, at 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful. It was so painful. It was so painful.
I can't imagine. Yeah. No.
And I had a tube in there. I had a tube that was drained, keeping my bladder drained. Or the tissue around it, something. I had a drainage tube for like 3 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. And body didn't like that because the hole where the tube went into my abdomen, the body wants to heal, right? And it couldn't because this tube was there. So it would just get really irritated. And I'm like, my body was ready to seal itself. It was done. It was ready for everything to get the fuck out of it and heal. And it was awful. Yeah. Okay.
So,
do you see people have any drainage tubes?
I don't remember. I don't think they had any drainage tubes.
No.
I think they did. Can you hear me all right?
You're a little muffled again.
Still muffled, huh? Any better?
Oh, that's better. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds
I'm
good.
going to do this because I can actually hear you on this.
Oh, okay.
You know what you sound like without this? You sound like, you know, the Charlie Brown thing where it goes.
Oh, sure. Shit. Okay.
Anyway, we're probably boring the shit out of our watchers or our listeners or our watchers. Or
really? You don't think they're interested in knee surgeries and stuff? I think anatomy, medicine is fascinating, Jen.
I do too. Like I said, I'll watch a surgery any day. I'll just sit there and watch it. I actually wanted to ask her doctor if I could watch, but I figured I probably couldn't, so I didn't.
Oh, I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if you'd be allowed in there or not.
Well, I think they have they don't on the TV shows. There's no theater, right? So I think, I'd have to go in the room actually, and I'm sure they wouldn't want to do that. So it'd be cool to see though.
I think so. And I mean, yeah, I think a knee surgery could be cool to see. I don't know if I'd want to see my mom's knee surgery, but a knee surgery, I couldn't do an eyeball surgery.
Yeah, no,
it's a little too close to home for me as far as just nope, that's those are in my head. I don't, a knee's far enough removed. I can be like, that's cool. Dude, should we reschedule? I mean, I don't know if we're having a hard time with sound. Wait, what was that? What was that? What did you say?
You can't hear me or I can't hear you.
No, man, our tech is shot.
Hang on. I'm going to turn it off.
On the computer speakers.
Shit. So you can't hear me.
You're okay for a little while and then it gets really bad. So.
Okay.
I can edit all of this out, no worries.
Oh, okay. All right. Shit.
You're sounding normal right at the moment, so that's good.
Okay. Take advantage of it while we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
So where were we? I couldn't watch eyeball surgery, I don't think. That's the one thing I couldn't watch, but all other stuff I could watch.
Okay. I got one for you. Are you ready? There was a TV show. I don't know if it's still on. And it was on a History Channel or the Learning Channel. You could why don't you put your headphones on while I tell the story? That way you can hear me.
Okay.
How about that? Let's do it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the show was called My Abnormal Pregnancy. I think that's what it was called. My Abnormal Pregnancy. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this show because what does that even mean? So there were it was like a back-to-back. They had 2 stories in one episode. And the first story it took place in, this was England. And there was a husband and wife. They had a 3-year-old. She was pregnant with twin girls. And so at some point in her pregnancy, the hey, what's a pregnancy doctor called? OBGYN or nutrition or obstetrician.
Yeah, obstetrician, gynecologist.
Okay, I get obstetrician and obstetrician. Okay, whatever. There was an ultrasound being done, routine, and they ended up picking up a third baby heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
So there were, instead of the mom and the 2 twin baby heartbeats, there was the mom and then 3 and they're like, oh shit, there's a third heartbeat, but we can't see the baby. We don't know, we can't find it in the uterus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So process of elimination, research, they finally find the baby, and they kind of theorized as to what happened. Her third baby was attached to her organs, like her liver, a kidney, and what they think had happened was that she had an ectopic pregnancy.
Yeah.
Egg got fertilized in the fallopian tube ruptured, baby got sent out into the body and attached itself on her organs.
Oh.
And a placenta had attached itself to the organs. And so they were like, okay, by the time they had discovered the baby, it was already kind of a good size.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, we're gonna leave him in there for a little while longer, but then we're gonna at a certain point we're gonna remove him because he's gonna get too big. It ended up being a boy, so like he's gonna be too big for him to stay there because we're worried he's in your organs, right? Like he's attached to the exterior of your organs, and so we got to get him out because we're worried something could happen and you could bleed to death.
Yeah.
So they waited till the twins were a good size as well, and this had never happened before, right? So they had 10 different surgeons for 10 different aspects of this whole process, right? And one of the surgeons, who's an asshole, pulled the husband aside and said, there's a 10 out of 10 chance that your wife and the babies are all going to die. Like there's 100% chance this isn't going to work. 100%. This guy says this to the dad before the surgery, right? And so he's like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my wife and all these babies, and my daughter, 3-year-old daughter, is going to be orphan, or not orphan, but not going to have a mom. He's devastated. So the 10 surgeons went in there one at a time doing what they needed to do. They got the baby twins out, they got the girls out, and they found the little boy and they got him out, and nobody died. Wow. It was successful. Everybody was fine.
So they went into okay, so the surgery, because you cut out, apologies.
Oh, no problem.
Part of it, so they went in to remove the baby from the organs, and then they removed all the babies that at the same time, or they?
No, they took the twins out first.
Okay.
That was the easiest of the surgeries, because women get fucking C-sections all the time.
Yeah.
We took the twins out. Then other surgeons came in and did what they needed to do to get the little boy off of her organs, because his placenta had attached.
Oh, okay.
Kind of janky in there.
So he's just hanging out in the abdomen with his placenta around him and everything, like normal, but he's attached to her organs instead of her
uterine wall. Yeah. So he did come out. He survived, but they didn't show him on the video. He was alive. They were raising him, but he did have maybe some mental disabilities. They didn't really go into detail because he didn't get the same amount of nutrition that the twins had because his placenta landed somewhere weird,
Right.
I mean, there was a blood supply, but not the good juicy stuff from the uterus.
Right.
So he wasn't getting as much nutrition, but he survived. The twins were fine. And this video, they were filmed. This was like 2 years after this had happened. So everybody was already like 2 years old. Yeah, but that was a big deal. Everyone was shocked that everybody survived and that this had happened. And then, sometimes it does. The human body's just a goddamn mystery.
It is.
And so when people are like, well, Mary Magdalene, not Mary Magdalene, Jesus' mom Mary had a, what do you call it when you get pregnant by God?
Yeah.
Immaculate conception.
Immaculate conception.
Now, most likely that did not happen, but goddamn, sometimes it's just like, okay, some weird shit goes on in the human body.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Was Mary pregnant with her embryonic twin and then it like grew and then it was Jesus? So Jesus was technically her brother. We could go there. Why not? Let's, fuck it. That shit's fucking weird to me. You know what else is weird to me is that, okay, when your mom, right, was inside her mom's body, right? So when your grandma was pregnant with your mom, before your mom was born, her baby ovaries already had the eggs inside of them that would eventually be you.
Right.
So technically, on some level, your grandma was carrying you. What? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's just weird. Fascinating. I think it's fascinating. It's super interesting. I don't know, man. It's too much. It's too much for my brains.
It is.
And then a buddy of mine, did we talk about this last week? A buddy of mine, my neighbor, we got to talking about how black holes can be made in a laboratory, but black holes require so much energy. They eat so much food that there's just not enough food to feed them in the labs. They just kind of dissipate. And then he said in quantum science, did we talk about this? No? That in quantum science, there is a theory that there's like little black holes all over us, like kind of passing through or whatever on a quantum level. And then I'm thinking, okay, maybe that chick isn't crazy. Maybe she just attracts a lot of these little tiny black holes that pass through and it kind of messes with her. You know what I'm talking about? You got that ex that's a little janky and you're like, man, what is up with her? People are like childhood trauma. And it's like, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's something else. Is that funny? I'm serious. Yeah. Or like when you put down your pencil and you go to get it and it's gone. And you swear to God that fucking thing was right there.
Yeah.
Black hole. Yeah. Little quantum black hole. Just like a little wormhole happened. I'm just saying. I'm not making this stuff up.
Nope. The whole quantum physics thing. Can you hear me okay?
Hell yeah. I hear you now real good.
The whole quantum physics thing is fascinating to me too. Like, it's basically that we're all on different planes, right? And like they equate it, to simplify it, the equation would be, let's think about a traffic lineup of traffic. And there's a traffic accident up here, but the people back here don't know about it until they get there. So, and you only would be able to see it if you went above it. And we can't, we don't do that shit. We don't go above or in between or travel through all the planes. So, yeah, the theory is that there's all of these different planes that are happening at the same time, or different realities and all of that. And, maybe when we die here, we go on to the next. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Or maybe that's Bigfoot on a plane, and then they just happen to walk through for whatever reason, and then we just happen to see one, like, whoa, and then it goes out into it leaves our plane again. It's kind of passing through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe the UFOs are here all the time, like we were talking about last week. They're here all the time, and we just can't see them until we can see them, and then we can see them, and then they're gone again. Yeah.
Supernatural shit or quantum physics.
Or quantum physics. Is it supernatural shit or quantum physics?
That's the question. That's the question. That shit, I don't know. Every now and then I'm like, ooh. That's the thing. I don't think I could run for office more, like, bigger than like local politics, because as soon as you hit those, like, senator or, a congressman, House of Representatives on the big stage, that's the kind of shit that comes up. They'll be like, but she believes in UFOs. She crazy. Oh, yeah, she goes to those Bigfoot conventions down at Ocean Shores, Washington. She's a nut. Yeah. And it's like, no, I'm just interested in different things.
Well, and
Shit, you're cutting out, buddy.
you can and still be higher offices.
No, you're cutting out. It's choppy.
All right. Okay.
You can be in higher office, apparently, and still believe in crazy shit because, what do we have there now?
That's a good point. And I think if I was on the big stage, I could spin it and be like, oh, you're going to flip me shit for this? What about that asshole over there?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Who's cuckoo bananas now? Right? Like, I'm having some fun, and that guy's like screwing the taxpayers. So, switch it up a little bit here now. Yeah. For sure. Actually, a buddy of mine, Katie from the Katie's Corner Cafe down the street, going to a paranormal festival in Wallace, Idaho. And she's like, you should go. It's super ridiculous and fun. And so I think I'm gonna go.
Oh, where's Wallace, Idaho?
I have no idea. It's in Idaho somewhere. Small town. Just some small ass. Apparently it's the only town in the United States where the entire town is a historical landmark. I gotta research that. I don't know what that
entire town can't be. The whole, because there's so many historical landmarks on the East Coast. No, that can't be right.
Landmark, but not a whole town. The whole town. Look it up. I know. I was like, that can't be right. That can't be right. But it said it on the little description of the town.
Huh.
I'm just saying, Jen.
Well, the reason I'm saying this, that doesn't make sense to me, is that I grew up on the East Coast. There's this little town called Waterford, and it's an historical landmark.
The town?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so either what I read was incorrect, or I misunderstood it, or a senator from Idaho is from Wallace, and in order to get his clearance a tax break, he had to make sure in some way the town became a national landmark so that somebody got a tax break in the town. Because that's how politicians do stuff.
Yeah, but also Idaho, that, it's not even an old enough place to be a landmark.
Historical stuff. The first nuclear power plant, self-sustaining nuclear power plant, is in Idaho, and it was built to power a military base. And then they realized it just was too expensive to maintain. But if you go to Idaho to where this is, It's like you can go on tours and stuff. It's like a whole thing. I was like, Idaho?
The
First
first
nuclear
power plant was in Idaho.
nuclear power plant. For a military base, because it was so isolated that it needed to be able to have its own power. And they made a little one. It's like a little one for this military base. Yeah.
Huh.
It was in a documentary. I mean, it could be wrong, but I was shocked. Idaho.
Speaking of nuclear power plants, I grew up near 3 Mile Island. Close enough that if 3 Mile Island went kablooey, would have affected a lot of people in the United States. But there was a lot of stupid shit. There's a documentary about it, actually.
Yep. I started watching it and then I had to pause because it was making me mad.
But I remember that. I remember my parents being really concerned about it because we were close enough that if that sucker melted down, it would not have been good news for us.
That's nuts.
And it's crazy. Like, yeah, watch the documentary. It's crazy to the point of being frightening how stupid some of the men were that were working there and how, inept.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my God, they are so lucky it didn't completely melt down, like Chernobyl. Like, they
like
are
China syndrome.
Yeah.
Silkwood. Yeah. They're actually re-examining the Silkwood files.
Are
They're
they?
re-examining. I think it's the FBI has reopened that case.
Yeah, I don't know about anything that's happening at the FBI right now. It's all a diversion to get our attention someplace else.
I was still excited though that was happening because I do think that Karen Silkwood was murdered. To shut her goddamn mouth.
I think so too. I think that something shady happened there for sure.
And I also appreciate that Cher played a lesbian in that movie. Go Cher, Kurt Russell, and of course, perennial Meryl Streep. Yeah.
She played Silkwood, right?
Yeah, she was Karen.
Yeah.
For sure. I saw that as a small child and it was traumatic. Nuclear power was just traumatic.
You saw it as a small child?
Yeah. Well, you watch what your parents are watching, right?
True. Yeah.
And then we were in Alaska and we were taught as children that if we got into a nuclear arms race or a nuclear war, I should say, with the USSR, we would be the first to go because we were the closest military base to Russia. So Alaska would go first. And that was taught to us. That was just like in school and at home. And then that goddamn movie the day after came out. I think I was 8.
Was that the one that was on TV?
They did a whole documentary about that.
That was some scary shit.
Yeah, they did a documentary about it recently, and like maybe we should we have made that? Because it was so disturbing. It was so I did not see it. My bedtime was earlier in the night, but I have friends watch it that watch it.
Well, for us, like I lived in the DC area, so we know. I don't even know it's a thing anymore. It probably still is. There's a place called Mount Weather.
Okay.
That's where they take all of the important people if there's a nuclear war. It's built into the side of a mountain.
In Virginia?
Yeah.
Mount Weather.
Yeah.
Safe house for the wealthy and politicians and presidents and stuff.
It's for the president, basically. That's where they whisk him off to. If there's a nuclear war and they can't get, first they'll put him on Air Force One or whatever. But anyway, so that's where but I don't know. I mean, I assume they still use it. But the big deal was back in the 70s, there was a plane crash on the road that leads up to Mount Weather. And so it was a big deal because nobody knew if that was, was something nefarious happening, and they're, yeah.
Was it
ended up,
nefarious? Was it a passenger?
It was just a passenger plane, and it ended up they were too low, and they crashed into this. Basically, if they'd been a little bit higher, they would have made it, but they clipped the trees and pancaked into a rock.
So when you were just talking about 3 Mile Island and the inept male that almost destroyed so much, I've been listening to a lot of, or watching, I could say, a lot of YouTube videos about airplane crashes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the egos. Now, don't get me wrong. These pilots are like, some of them are just fucking heroes, right? Pilots are fucking heroes. And some of them are not. And it's like, can everybody just put your egos away? Air traffic control men, pilot men. And like, can we have some actual like good communication so that these planes aren't dropping? Because as like a dyke in a wheelchair from Alaska, right? I'm like listening to air traffic control, talking to the pilots, and I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't. I'm just like it's like, can you just check in with the pilot and make sure, is this an emergency? Or are you low on gas? Or, like, are you out of gas? Right? Like there's some just real basic shit, like common sense that you would think they would communicate. And one of the videos said that, like, well, if you ask a pilot something and they respond or they don't, you kind of just leave them alone. I'm like, he got 400 people on his plane, and that includes some babies. I don't give two shits about his fucking leave him alone. No, we're not doing that. And I'll say that to the pilot. I got my little mouth thing, like, yeah, listen, I'm not worried about your ego right now. I'm checking in because you got 400 babies on there. Now, are you low on gas? What do we need to do? Like, it's just, yeah, sometimes I'm just like, I'm mad. I'm mad. What if it was all women?
Yeah, well,
It was all women. What would that be like? I don't know, because there are female assholes, but
yeah,
women,
I don't know, but women don't. I just think if women ruled the world, the world would be a better place. But
well, it'd be different for sure.
Men and their fucking egos.
Yeah.
My dad was an air traffic controller, and I just got his medical records. My sister ordered them, and said, well, he was an air traffic controller. Yeah, he got some sort of commendation for how he handled a situation.
Okay.
He had a letter sent because of the way he handled a possible mid-air collision or something like that. Yeah. Which is cool to see that kind of stuff in writing. Stuff that my dad never ever talked about,
I love it. Of course that man gave birth to a lesbian. That's right. He probably saved some lives because he wasn't fucking around. Like, talking to the pilot. What the fuck's wrong with your plane? Let's get him done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, hey, dumbass, you're about to collide with that other plane. Turn right.
Yeah. Turn right. You turn right. You turn left. Don't hit each other.
There was one scenario where a goddamn 747, the pilot and the co-pilot and the whole cabin was just yakking away during a landing in one of the busiest airports in that region, and failed to notice the goddamn Cessna crashes into this goddamn Cessna. And the tower had been like, okay, check your Cessna, poor communication between the tower and the goddamn 747. So the Cessna gets taken out and the goddamn 747 crashes into, 1979 San Diego. Or 1978 San Diego, the worst crash in United States history at that time.
It was between a Cessna and a 747?
Yep. Yeah. And then the goddamn 747 crashes into a building that had people in it in San Diego.
Wow.
And it's like, hey, y'all, can everyone just shut the fuck up and fly the plane right now? There's little airplanes everywhere. Like, can we all just shut the fuck up? So they had to implement new rules. When you're coming into that airport, you're not allowed to talk. For about, seriously, it was like that.
You're in timeout when you fly into San Diego.
Seriously, because that black box had all the recording of what they were talking about. And that's a new thing. When you're coming in on approach, you only talk about landing stuff. No more chit chat.
Well, yeah. I mean, the polar opposite of that is the guy that landed that fucking plane on the Hudson,
Exactly.
There's people like that, and then you've got the other guys who are just like, I'm a pilot, blah blah blah. I can just, talk about my day and all this stuff, and we're taking off, but I can tell you about my day, and it's
Well, my mom worked for the airlines for years, right? And she talked about like, oh yeah, the pilots, because they put what do you call it? Not cruise control. That's for the car. But when you have the autopilot, she's like, they just sit in there and look at porn. They're not working. They just sit in there and look at porn and stuff. She's like, and that's the thing. She's like, because she knew pilots, like that's what they do.
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, if we needed to find a pilot, sometimes I'd have to go to work with her because she couldn't find a babysitter. And so she, as a ticket agent, she'd have to grab me and she'd be like, okay, we got to go find this pilot. They were always in the bar. Always in the bar. So I'd have to wait outside the airport bar. And then she'd walk in and go get them. And then they'd come out.
Yeah. Well, but she worked for Ween, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when I worked in Alaska, they wouldn't let us fly on Ween.
Because Ween had drunk pilots?
That or they just would not let us fly on Ween.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is when you were flying into the villages and whatnot to install the grocery store.
Yeah. And it was the 90s. Late 90s.
Wow. Well, you know what? Ween would have, the late 90s. Okay. Ween had folded. Ween had folded. This was back President Carter had gone ahead, deregulated the airlines so that his plan was that they would, compete and it would bring prices down, but it didn't. And Ween ended up being purchased by a gentleman, last name Fudd, if I'm not mistaken. And he ended up selling all the airplanes, all the computers, all the stuff. So there was no airline anymore. And then he filed bankruptcy. So he didn't have to pay off any debt. And so Ween went away, and that would have been right around the late 80s.
Oh, okay. Well, then it must not have been Ween then. It must not have been Ween. Then it was some other airline. There was some airline up there that they wouldn't let us fly. We only were allowed to fly Alaska.
I wonder if it was Western. Western, I believe, was still around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it might have been.
Okay. I just love that shit, Jen. What a bunch of assholes, Like, I don't know, man. I've told you some of my buddy Scotty worked customs. She really wanted to be an FBI agent.
Oh, yeah, I remember her. Yeah.
Yeah, Scotty's cool chick. She passed away from breast cancer a year ago.
Oh, you're kidding.
Nah, man, I got her. like at 45. Breast
Son of a-
cancer got her.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh man, we couldn't believe it. But yeah, she worked customs for the airport for years.
Uh-huh.
And then she ended up working down at the port, the Seattle port.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, working for the Port Authority at the airport, she worked the international flights, right? Customs.
Mm-hmm.
And so she talked about the Russian flights, the flights that would come in from Russia. She's like, man, those flights were nasty because they would always send in the new guy, the new customs agent. It's kind of a way of like custom agent hazing.
Yeah.
They'd send the new guys into the cockpit first before they would, because it always smelled like farts. It just smelled like farts in the cockpit. And they'd be like, yeah, new kid, go check the cockpit. And I'd be like, you. But there were always more than one empty vodka bottle in the cockpit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she told me that there was one time this real specific airline coming in from Russia here to Seattle thought that I-5 was a runway.
No, it was 519, I think. They thought it was a runway.
Was it 519? That's right.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That Highway 519, which runs parallel to I-5, but it's not a giant freeway. It's a highway. Yeah. Okay. So you know about that one. Yeah. And the traffic control was like, no. That's not a runway. That's a highway.
Yeah, that's the highway.
In fact, right around that same time, this airline was banned from entire Canadian airspace. They were not allowed to fly into Canada at all.
Oh.
Because they had the absolute worst maintenance record. They would fly into Canada airspace, land in wherever they were landing. Their plane would be so broken down they couldn't leave, and they would just leave the plane. They did that enough times that the entire country of Canada said, you are no longer allowed to land here.
You're not welcome here.
Yep. Leave your garbage here, and then we got to deal with your garbage. Yeah.
Wow.
Alaska had problems with that. My mom's like, oh, I know that airline very well. Flying into
Probably Aeroflot or something.
It's not Aeroflot.
No?
But it had a weird name, and I swear to God, it started with the letter L. And it's not Lufthansa. It's definitely, but yeah, my mom would know the airline. But yeah, I just how bad is it when Canada, as a whole,
says you can't come here?
Yeah, you're not allowed because you leave your garbage on our tarmacs. That's nuts and scary. That's so scary. Oh my God. Actually, those Russian pilots must be like the best in the world because apparently they're flying garbage airplanes completely drunk and get you there good to go.
Yeah, true. They're drunk off their ass and they're flying a junk airplane and they're still able to keep it in the air.
Keeping that shit in the air. I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. I don't know. Yeah. Love that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. She also had a good nuclear power plant story that she told me. Speaking of power plants. So when she was working customs down at the Seattle port, sometimes they had to, they had to search the container that came in on the container ships, right? And sometimes they do use Geiger counter, the Geiger counter meters. And she said one of these shipping containers lit up. It just lit up with, their meter off the charts radiation inside this container. So, can you understand me? Do I sound like Charlie Brown?
Yeah, I've learned to figure it out here with the way it sounds.
All right. Right. Okay. So they crack open this shipping container, radiation suits are on and they find they're expecting like something really serious, right? It is metal furniture parts. It's hardware to put furniture together. This hardware is super radioactive. So they're like, this is fucking weird, but we don't have time for this shit. Send it back to China because it had come from China.
Yeah.
So one of her colleagues will not let this go. Was like, I got to figure this out. Goes to China as part of the research team. Finds out, good old China, they recycle everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. They take our garbage and recycle it, right?
Yeah.
Well, there was a decommissioned nuclear power plant, and so they went in and recycled all the metal, turned it into usable shit, and sent it abroad, And so that's what happened. And I asked my buddy, I'm like, well, shit, what ended up happening to that stuff? You guys sent it back to China. Oh my God, it's radioactive. Do they melt it down? Do they dispose of it? He's like, no, usually in those situations, China will sell it to a third world country that's not going to cheat. It probably went to India.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And India will send it back to us.
Right. Yeah. Well, or maybe back to China or use it. Maybe they don't know. I don't know. It just was a bit unsettling, but in Scotty's office, which was very cool, she had her cabinet of pride. She had her cabinet of pride. And in this cabinet was contraband that she and her team had nixed, like kept out of the United States market. So there had been a shipment of fake Tide laundry detergent. So she had a bottle of it. She kept it, Yeah. There was also some honey from China. It wasn't honey at all. And she had a jar of that.
Like I put this corn syrup or something.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. They ended up, they don't send that shit back. They destroyed that. All that gets destroyed here.
Yeah.
I think it's incinerated. But I just love these stories, I got to make more friends in weird jobs.
I'm so sorry she passed away. It's just
yeah, it was sudden.
Fuck cancer.
Yeah, fuck cancer. And what's really fucked up is that her wife had gotten the exact same cancer at the exact same time. And so we were like, what's in your drinking water? Or what's in the house that you bought?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, what are the odds?
Where's their house?
Shoreline.
Really? But she's okay. Her partner's okay.
Well, her wife's cancer, breast cancer, ended up being the kind where, I guess, new science, the chemo or whatever only attacks that specific cancer cell instead of everything, because I guess chemo just kills all new cells, and anyway, it or something, it's able to pinpoint the specific cells that it needs to kill. And so she's okay now, knock on wood. But no, they both, lost their hair. They both were going through it at the same time.
Jesus.
And then Scotty was doing all right. And then it just came out of nowhere. And I think it had gone into her liver. And it just, like that. Like, I got a call on Wednesday. Scotty's in the hospital. And then Friday, she had died. So.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we were all just like, what just fucking happened? Like. Yeah, so it does that.
Crazy.
Yeah, she's got a son too. It's just the guy lost his mom, so anyway.
Stupid cancer. Cancer.
Came out of nowhere. But she's from Virginia.
I think I remember talking to her. We were kind of commiserating about that.
Yeah, lesbians from Virginia and ended up here. And I think she moved for a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Total. Oh
What
my
part
God.
of Virginia? I can't remember. Was she? Maybe she was from the same area that I was. I can't remember though.
All I know is her dad worked for the Pentagon.
She lived in Northern Virginia, where I lived. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She's like, oh yeah, that Pentagon, that's like 30 stories down. She's like, it goes into the earth.
Yeah.
Deep, 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 deep. And I was like, get out of here. And her dad, some sort of engineer. And I met him a few times, and he's just this tiny nerd. Just a tiny man nerd. Yeah.
Aw.
Super cute.
Yeah.
Super cute. Just this little guy. And mom was like a bigger woman, you know, like tall and big. And I was like, oh, right. He was a nerd, and she ran she ran the house.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a nerd. Yeah. Doing nerd stuff. But yeah. Moved out here for a chick. Yeah.
That's what we do, I guess, sometimes, right?
Well, have you seen that little meme on it's on Facebook? And it's kind of it's a joke. It's hilarious, but it's funny, but it's also like not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it says like, you know, gay men, oh, he lives 22 minutes away, so it's never gonna work. And then it shows lesbian. And it's woman escaped Russia on boat to move to Colorado to be with her lover. You know, and it's just like her new girlfriend or something like that. And it's like, yeah, that sounds right. We would absolutely steal a boat to escape Russia to go be with our girlfriend we just met online a week ago, you know, or some ridiculous shit like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was having a good chuckle at that one.
I just realized I needed to turn on my light because it was getting dark in here. So now you can
what's
actually
going on?
see me, lady.
I did notice there was something different, but you're right. I'm gonna go find I'm just in my bedroom in the light. Let me see what it's like actually out in the living room. Yeah. Oh boy, yeah, that's bright. Woo, that is.
It's like it's bright like the sun.
Whoa, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay. Let me just kind of make my way back to where I was.
Okay.
All right, buddy.
All right. So I was looking at my notes because I had written some notes last night of things to talk about, but I think we've muscled through this episode despite the technical difficulties.
I think we had some good stuff though, Jen. I think we had some entertaining stuff.
Yep. I think so too.
Yeah.
Topics.
Yes.
Oh, we need to talk about your weekend that you had with the microdosing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And yeah. And I'm noticing that on my note I wrote some note about my mom's shit because somebody must have called me.
Aww.
So I've got your microdose weekend. Do you have a doppelganger? And then a note for my mom's surgery.
Well, we got the mom part out of the way. We did the mom stuff.
Yeah. So, future topics for us to talk about, I know that when I edit the episode down and try and take out all of the messed up parts, you're probably not going to quite get an hour from us this week, but
Okay.
Or I can leave all the technical difficulties in and it'll run an hour.
Right. Well, should I talk about the mushroom stuff?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah. So that if you edit it.
Yeah, then we got a little bit more. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, let's see, March, that's when I made my first payment. So that's when I say is my start time. I started with this group and it's, let's see, right now, men are included. I mean, men can participate, but right now it's women and queers. There's 2 facilitators and about 9 participants. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we get together in person once a month to really focus on a topic that we would like to work on. So I'm doing this as like ancestral healing.
Mhm.
And we meet once a month, and we cut our facilitators guide us through like our upcoming mushroom meditation retreat, right? So April, May, we meet up. We talk about the element of that season, which is spring is the element of air, and we focus on our inner child. And then we go to a retreat for a weekend, and we do mushroom. And we have a safe container. It's a real witchy, Jen. Okay, we got candles, we got crystals everywhere. We're doing like lesbian dream circle. The head witch is wearing a fucking robe. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
so then I just did one this weekend, and we met up June and July just to meet up and prep. And so this retreat, summertime, the element is fire. And our focus was during the mushroom meditation, the focus was to discover our inner loving parent. So the parent that we maybe didn't think that we needed as children, right?
So the parent that you didn't have, but
Right. And so we work with the inner parent and our inner child and our current selves.
Mhm.
And yeah, the topic was anger as well. So there was a lot of anger in this room because it's women or queer people, queers, but women. And wow, right? Like so much anger. And because it's fire, we lit a fire, the facilitators lit a fire in a wood stove, and people, it was kind of like the Al-Anon resentment fire that I went to once, where you write, shit you're resentful about. Well, we wrote out old contracts that we had made with ourselves in the past that worked for us in the past, but no longer work for us now.
Mhm.
And then we say them out loud, and then we burn them. And there's a lot of singing. There's a lot of song.
Was there drumming?
Oh, 100% drumming. Yeah. Acknowledging the four directions and the ancestors. Very pagan. It's just so pagan. And when I say pagan, I want to make sure that I say we aren't doing like indigenous Native American practices.
Right.
This is definitely like a Western European pagan practice, like that kind of witchy. We don't want to culturally appropriate anybody else's stuff. So it's definitely like the Western European witch.
Mhm.
Right? And which is great because that's that's where we're at. But yeah, so it was awesome, Jen. And what I discovered about myself in these, group practices and exercises and stuff is that I actually carry a lot of resentment, which I knew, and I try to get rid of resentment, and that doesn't work. So I'm learning to embrace my resentment and own it and have empowerment over it, because it's really in my skin and I wear it as a shield.
Mhm.
And so now that I know that, I can work on that with my therapist as to like how to navigate.
So, okay. So
Mm.
where does the microdosing mushrooms come in?
It's not a microdose. This is a macrodose.
It's a macro dose.
Yeah, microdosing is when you take it and you go to work and you're fine. It just is like your antidepressant that you took that day.
Yeah.
Macrodosing is when you're actually tripping and you can see the trees grieving, and you're talking to the land, or
so you're macrodosing, and
Mhm.
there was still a lot of anger.
Everybody has a different experience. I went ahead and did my own thing. Some of the group, it was lovely where we go to this island, and it's forested, and it was 85 degrees, but because we were in the forest, it was really hot, but also had a breeze. Everybody's practically half naked, and we're out with nature. And some people hung out together and would sit and eat snacks and talk and interact and listen and then also speak and, kind of acknowledge one another. I didn't do that. I was like, I just want to have my own experience. So honestly, I laid out in the sun. I absorbed the sun. I really just, what had happened was, Jen, because Anu, who's the head witch, she came up and was like, what's coming up for you? Because they check in on us. There's 3 facilitators for a reason. They make sure we're okay. And I'm like, girl, I'm doing just fine. And she's like, okay. And what I discovered was I had done all of kind of the preparation and the work and the anger work and stuff before I actually took the mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
So all the group activities we had already done and the singing and the journaling and all this preparation for the journey, I had worked through a bunch of shit in that, fully soaked, right?
Yeah.
So then when I took the macrodose, I just was able to have a really nice summertime ride. It was just lovely. It was just lovely. And there were eagles, and there were ospreys, and there were rabbits, and there were raccoons, and we saw bats at night. And it was just a really lovely, I had some snacks because all of a sudden I was so hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first mushroom journey that we took back in June was way more intense. But I had a much higher dose.
Mm-hmm.
It was cold. It was raining. It was a whole other different experience. We were working with inner child. We were working, we had just met for the first time and been in this space for our first time. So this second time was a little bit of an easier ride for me. The rest of the group, some of them were like, there was crying. There was awakenings. There were epiphanies. It ran the gamut of emotions and information for people. But my experience was that by the time I had come down off the journey, off the trip, and we kind of had a closing ceremony in the evening, girl, I was ready to come home. I wanted to come home so bad. I was just like, I'm done with this. I just want to get in the car, get on the ferry, go home. I made a commitment to the group, right? I had to practice my patience. So I went to bed and woke up in the morning and had coffee, and I was still ready to go, but again, held space because I made a commitment. So each time is different, each mushroom is different.
So how often do you do it? Like, is it once a month or?
No, so the next one will be fall, so autumn, so that'll be November when we actually meet for the mushroom retreat. We will actually gather together for conversation in September, one time in September and one time in October, right? And then we will meet in November for the mushroom retreat. And the same thing applies. So in December and January, we will have a one-time, once a month meetup. And then mushroom retreat February. And so after each retreat, we wait a few days so everyone can get integrated back into society, kind of process some of the things that came up. And then we meet up, like this time we're meeting up on Thursday to kind of go over what we all experienced.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's women. There's a lot of fucking talking. There's a lot of talking. And I'm a soft butch lesbian that's like, let's get her done. I'm like, let's, all right, we could have ended this 2 hours ago, So I really have to practice. But Jen, what I have noticed in the groups, the people that talk, the women that talk the most, it seems like they feel that it's like they need to be heard and they need to be seen, and this is a safe container for that. It's always the fucking straight chicks. It's always the heteros. And I'm like, men are not doing a good job. They're not doing a good job. Because the amount of space that the hetero women or women that were hetero and have since, because sexuality is fluid, have since now been like, oh, and they're coming out of the closet as queer in some fashion or bisexual, whatever. Man, I mean, I just sit and listen and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's 100% biological. The heterosexuality is biological because nobody would choose that. Nobody would choose that.
Yeah.
That life.
Yeah.
Men are doing a good job. They're not doing a good job.
Well, yeah, it's funny that you say nobody would choose that because,
right.
If being gay was a choice, nobody would choose it because you're doing something different from societal norm. But you know what I mean? It's interesting that you said nobody would choose that.
No.
Straight. Which, yeah, I think you're right. Nobody should choose that because,
No. I mean, that level of, it's just, men are neglectful. They're entitled. It's like, it's yourself. I'm not your mama.
They crash airplanes.
Yeah. Where are the paper towels? I don't know. You have eyes. Go fucking look for them. Where are they? How come you don't know where your paper towels are in your own house?
Yeah.
And just that we've talked about it in previous episodes, but yeah, man, I'm just like the neglect, the straight up. And don't get me wrong. I am a woman of few words, except for you wouldn't know it on this show because I won't shut up. I'm always cutting you off because I can be yakety yak.
I'm not always cutting you off.
I'm working on. But I mean, these women are talky. And sometimes it's just, I think it's just to take up space in a room because they're not used to that. Because they say shit, I'm like, you didn't need to say any of what you just said. That was just extra bullshit. So, I don't know, man. Men need to just shut up and listen.
Yeah. Shut up and listen. That would be good advice, for sure.
Yeah, and women, like, don't talk if you don't have anything to say. Like, come on, And on that note,
Well, I think we probably got enough of a show after I do all the edits, and hopefully,
you're doing great, Jen.
Hopefully, our listeners and watchers are. Well, I'm saying listeners and watchers because eventually I'll have it up on an audio podcast, but right now it's still video. Hopefully that, the people who have been watching have put up with our technical difficulties and all of that stuff and have enjoyed somewhat what we've been talking about, it as fractured as it's been. The other thing I wanted to say was, should we be using microphones? Did you get my email?
Oh, I saw that. Right. I mean, I'll set one up so that it's here. Like, I didn't use my headphones today because I left them in the car. But we could have microphone. I won't use mine. It'll just be a prop.
Yeah, just so our watchers know, we're watching other people's podcasts and trying to emulate podcasts.
Yeah.
And we're noticing that people wear headphones a lot and they use external microphones a lot.
Yeah, big ones.
Yeah.
Big fancy ones.
It's insane. But
anyway.
I
think we might have to make that happen just so that we look professional.
Yeah.
But we're still going to have technical, until we get a sponsor that pays for us to have a producer and stuff, it's going to be a mess.
And, it'll be what it'll be. And
that's right.
Yeah.
That's part of our charm.
That's right.
Part of our charm.
On that note, we can say goodbye to everybody.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in this week. We'll be here next week.
That's right.
Technical difficulties or not, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
But we'll say goodbye for now.
Okay. All right. Bye, people.
Have
Thanks.
a good one.
Thanks, fans.
All right.